There's a never-ending quest for better health in society, especially nowadays with the increase in illnesses and weight issues. And one of the topics that almost always arises during our discussions of our health is our eating habits. Enter the subject clean eating. Now you may be wondering, what is clean eating and how do I accomplish it? Well, stay tuned because after watching this video, you'll have at least a base understanding of what clean eating is, how it can benefit you, and how to incorporate it into your life. Hello again, my wellness peeps. This is Edwina with the Clean and Pure Life YouTube channel and the Clean and Pure Life blog, where I share tips with you to help you thrive and live a healthier, more relaxed life. So let's talk about the subject of clean eating by starting out with understanding the concept of clean eating. Sometimes we tend to overthink or complicate things, but the truth is that the rules of clean eating are really very simple. Overall, you are merely adapting a diet that includes whole, fresh, healthy foods that are low in saturated fats and preservatives. Instead of dining out, you'll cook more homemade meals, which in turn helps you avoid highly processed foods that are full of preservatives and at times lots of chemicals. Now, this means eliminating canned fruits and vegetables from your pantry and replacing them with fresh produce in your refrigerator. Another question that arises is, can you lose weight through clean eating? Well, by default, clean eating almost eliminates your need to count calories because your caloric intake per meal will naturally decrease. The reason is that you'll consume more wholesome, nutrient-dense foods that will nourish your body and help you to become more fit and trim. Now, let's talk about fresh produce. If you choose to integrate a clean eating diet into your life, understand that fresh fruits and vegetables should comprise the bulk of your meals. Now, I realize that many people enjoy consuming some type of protein with their meals, but for the most part, the largest percentage of your meals will include fresh produce. But you can really get creative when eating the rainbow. Instead of having a typical garden salad that may only consist of lettuce and tomatoes, add some thin slices of red bell peppers, a small handful of blueberries, half a cup of diced apples, and sprinkle some sunflower seeds over your salad, providing you have no allergies to any of the suggested foods. But you'll be surprised at how full your stomach will feel after consuming a well-crafted salad. And whenever possible, try to purchase organic produce to reduce the intake of pesticides into your body. During the summer and fall months, take advantage of the offerings at your local farmers markets. Now, let's discuss processed foods. Plainly put, processed foods are whole, fresh foods that have been broken down and changed from their original version. They have preservatives and other chemicals added to them, and then packaged and sold to the consumer. Now, although processed foods tend to have a longer shelf life, keep in mind that the action of processing the foods removes a lot of the nutrients from the whole food. But if you want to ensure that the foods that you put in your body are conducive to good health, using whole, fresh cooked ingredients is paramount. When it comes to adding proteins to your clean eating plan, it's best to choose lean proteins. Now, you were probably under the notion that clean eating meant that you could eat no protein of any kind, especially animal protein. Well, you are allowed to do so. However, if you desire to add animal protein into your clean eating program, try your best to select low-fat cuts such as chicken breast, wild-caught fish, and lean cuts of beef. There is an exception to including fish like salmon, herring, and cod into your clean eating diet because they all contain healthy omega-3 fatty acids that are beneficial to your heart's health. And remember, on a clean eating diet, your aim is to eat for better health. The overall point about consuming protein is that it is a lean cut versus one loaded with saturated fats that are not conducive to good health. Don't be shy about consuming a healthy serving of a variety of fresh produce with your protein. And you can even substitute a garden salad with a fresh fruit salad if you'd like. The fresh produce will also help your body to better digest the protein that you eat. Now, what about the superfoods? Oftentimes, a new trend arises around a newly discovered superfood. Simply put, Superfoods are foods that are nutrient dense and therefore very healthy for your body. Some superfoods are easily accessible, such as blueberries, avocados, broccoli, garlic, and dark leafy green vegetables. On the other hand, some superfoods are not stocked at your local grocer's produce section, such as goji berries, elderberries, and boysenberries. However, do not feel that you must embrace every superfood trend that comes along. The truth is, since you're already incorporating more fresh produce into your clean eating diet, you are essentially adding more superfoods to your plate. Almost all fresh produce is super because they are whole foods that have not been processed, and they still contain most of their nutritional value after being harvested and stocked at your local grocer. So how do you make the transition to clean eating? Well, for starters, don't feel like you must fully transition to clean eating overnight. That would cause just too much frustration, and you'd probably set yourself up for failure. For a successful conversion, just take baby steps so that you can enjoy the process and the health benefits of this lifestyle for years to come. Here are some tips to help you make that leap. Tip number 1, find a few clean eating recipes. Now that you have a good understanding of what comprises clean eating, do an internet search to collect anywhere from, say, 10 to 12 clean eating recipes. This will give you a variety of menus to rotate through so that you don't become bored with eating the same thing too often. And to ensure your success, be sure to choose recipes of foods that you really like, because if you don't enjoy your clean meals, you'll most likely not continue with the program and you won't enjoy the benefits of it. And there are also some great blogs out there that are dedicated to clean eating as well, and they usually contain some very creative meal ideas. Also check right here on YouTube. YouTube has several channels that are dedicated to living a more holistic lifestyle, and therefore they contain a variety of clean meal ideas. Tip number 2, take note of the contents of your current diet. If your current fare already consists of lots of fresh fruits and vegetables and lean cuts of meat, very little will be required of you to incorporate even more clean menus into your diet. However, if you're currently eating lots of canned produce, meats that are high in saturated fats, very little fresh fruits and vegetables, and lots of processed sugar. Processed sugar. Well, that's where my struggle is. And hey, I'm just keeping it real with y'all, okay? Well, anyway, if you consume a lot of these types of foods, you're a good candidate to begin enjoying the health benefits of clean eating. All you have to do is make small, gradual changes by replacing the less healthy foods with whole, fresh ingredients. And you don't have to win this battle overnight. Neither should you even try to. Manage your progress by adding only one clean snack at a time, or one clean whole ingredient at a time, or just one clean meal at a time per day. After doing this for a couple of months, you should start noticing that your cravings for some of the unhealthy foods will diminish. Tip number 3. Replace refined carbs with whole grains. Now, this is one of the most effective ways to clean up your diet. By cutting out the white processed carbs, such as white rice and white flour, you will be making a drastic difference in the quality of your eating habit. Processed white carbs, when mixed with water, are sticky by nature. Well, think about how that sticky substance will behave in the fibers of your body. That's not a good thought, is it? Now, it may be tasty in your mouth, but it totally conflicts with building lean, clean muscles. As much as possible, you can opt for whole grain or sprouted bread versus white bread, brown rice or quinoa versus white rice, and whole grain pasta versus regular pasta made with flour. Now let's talk about cooking for clean eating versus traditional cooking. Well, it's going to require you to cook more at home. The majority of your meals will be cooked from scratch, and that's just the plain reality of it. However, once you have your arsenal of 10 to 12 clean eating recipes, it should help to make your meal planning a lot easier. If you choose recipes that require a great deal of chopping and slicing, invest in a food processor because it will greatly reduce your prep time. Keep in mind that while cooking, your food ingredients do absorb some of the substance that your pots and pans are made from. So if you tend to run low on iron in your blood, just lightly saute your meats or vegetables in a cast iron skillet to naturally add iron to your diet. And if your recipe calls for baking, there are lots of glass, clay, and ceramic baking dishes that you can choose from. And some of them are really, really pretty. However, something to consider is that the glaze used to coat and seal a ceramic dish may include toxic lead. So using baking pans made of glass is a really healthy option. And if your recipe calls for oils, opt for heart-healthy oils that are low in saturated fats. 3 examples of these types of oils are extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, and hazelnut oil. Hazelnut oil in particular has a high smoke point of up to 430 degrees Fahrenheit. So hazelnut oil is a great option for baking and sauteing, and it does not impart a strong flavor into your food like olive oil sometimes does. Cooking clean meals also requires a bit more advanced planning. Now, I realize that most of us have very busy schedules. So the thought of cooking meals made from scratch may cause you to cringe because it takes more time and effort versus buying pre-prepared meals or fast food meals. However, with a bit of advanced planning, cooking from scratch can become a less time-consuming experience. If you set aside 1 day per week, probably ideally Saturday or Sunday, to do your meal prep, you most likely will not dread the days that you do your actual cooking. In fact, advanced meal prep may help you enjoy your cooking experience more because of the speed at which you can then prepare your healthy and tasty meals for you and your family. Now, remember that food processor that I mentioned before? Make good use of it on meal prep planning day by cutting and slicing all of your vegetables that your recipes call for, portion them out, and freeze them. Also, portion out the measurements of meats from your recipes and freeze those portions in individual freezer bags. Then the night before you cook your meal, take your frozen meat out of the freezer, put it in your refrigerator so that it can safely thaw, and have it ready for you when it's time to cook your meal later on in the day. Now, you can save even more time by taking 1 day of the week to do bulk meal prep. Just set aside 1 day per week to cook a week's worth of clean meals and then freeze them. When you're ready to consume them, just heat and serve. Voila! And the reality is that most people have super busy lifestyles, like I said earlier. So if you truly want to replace the high sodium, highly processed meals with meals that are made with fresh, whole, nutrient-dense ingredients, bulk meal prep is your answer. And you can even save money by buying your clean ingredients in bulk. Yes, meal planning for clean eating will require purchasing more ingredients, at least up front, but consider the fact that most of your dry ingredients such as beans, pasta, some spices, rice, grain, and some meats can be purchased in bulk, which in turn helps to reduce the per serving cost of your home cooked meals. Now, if you're ready to take the clean eating plunge, try not to be too strict on yourself because realistically, it took me about a year to get in sync with this lifestyle. But any self-improvement is going to require time and effort to see the desired results. And adapting a healthier lifestyle of clean eating is no different. The main ingredient here is willpower. But once you become committed to taking action to see positive change in whatever you do, you will be blessed with sweet results if you just stick with it. Again, this is Edwina with Clean and Pure Life, and here ends my discussion on clean eating. Now, if you decide to give it a try, feel free to leave a comment below and let me know how it goes for you. This will be a good way for you to take good care of you and your family's health, because if you don't take good care of you, no one else is going to do it for you. Stay healthy.